Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. It is pouring. It just stopped pouring here again, right? So it's so like, what's the word? Solemn here and chilly. I got the fan on and I'm in Florida. I'm such a baby, but it was an awesome storm. All right. How are you? How is everybody? Let me say hi to you guys. And let's see, we have Angel, Lisa, what's up? How are you guys doing? Thank you for being here and always helping out. FG, what's up? Bernadette, how are you doing? And let's see. I'm still trying to scroll here. Yep. Well, so far. All right. That's it. All right. It was slow for a second. I was sitting there. It's when I hit the on button too, it seemed like it took for a minute for it to King time. I know be here. What? I don't know. I don't know what that is. I'm watching that. Hello, Miss History Ann. Hello, Taja. Is that an okay thing, Angel? I was like, I didn't understand that, and I don't know. I don't want to start this way. Hello, Gigi. What's up? All right. All right. So let's just get going. I am going to be just doing whatever comes through today, kind of like I did last week, what's trying to shift in your life right now, what's trying to enter, especially in love. All right. I was wondering, Taja, I was like, where'd she go? I was worried about you. Hello, Sonar. Hello again, Ian. All right, Aries. What does Aries need to hear right now? So we're looking at what is like just changing in your life. What's, especially in love too, and what's trying to enter into your life, and any messages Spirit just has for you today. No rhyme or reason, just kind of seeing what's going on. You have the Seven of Wands here being tested, testing your will, testing your drive. How bad do you really want something? Quit listening to other people's opinions and demands on you. And, people trying to, it looks like you got places to do, places to go. And, you have the energy to get there. Where there's a will, there's a way. This card is, you don't have to explain yourself to anyone. And, some of you may even internally be fighting a battle that nobody else even knows about. Right. And it's like, it's nobody's business. Right. It's nobody's business. You're on a mission. You got something you got to do. But some of you might be dealing with some internal, frustrations. And, and again, the test is, not to give up on yourself, and not to give up on what it is you're going after, and it is, life will test you. How bad do you really want something? And if you want it, you will pass, you will get it, you will get through this. So what is trying to shift in your life? And I see the Six of Swords. So it looks like clear waters coming your way. You could go somewhere. This could be breaking out of the everyday routine, going somewhere new, trying something new. Life is going to get easier here. Life has its up and downs. You're climbing up a mountain right now, and a mountain that maybe you chose, right? And, you chose to pursue something. And you have your highs and you have your lows. And it looks like you are coming into a clear pathway where things will start to settle in, and you'll start to at least be able to figure out what the next goal is, what the next point is. All right. So life getting less difficult. In love, I'm seeing the Seven of Cups. You know, uncertainty and questioning and constantly fantasizing about how something could be or should be. Are you living from a place in a relationship with somebody that you're settling with what they're bringing to the table because you see potential in what this can become? Because this can also create a lot of the challenges that you're up against. Now with love too, things could start to smooth out because there is feelings there. Someone's in love with you, or you know, sees the possibilities of the connection growing, but it hasn't landed in reality yet. That's the problem here. It's like we always can feel a possibility. We always can feel or see or think about where things can go. And yet we're always waiting for something to change, though, because we can't even get there so that we can build upon it. So living in your head a lot, daydreaming about what could become of a situation. It could be stealing you away, your energy away from the current reality of where you're being called to be, to focus on. Now you have options, and if you are staying trapped in an illusion because you think that there's nobody else out there, that is BS, because you have plenty of options right now. And Aries, your energy right now, you know, there's so many opportunities. You're seeking joy, you're wanting to feel pleasure, but you're wanting reality, you're wanting stability and consistency. So the love is around you, and it's going to be trying to, you know, get you to see the difference between what is temporary and what is something that I should really put my energy into that could go somewhere. Because it's okay to flirt with fantasy, you know, and it's fun because it still could grow into something. There's definitely possibilities there. But the frustration comes from if it's you're wanting to pursue it and wanting it to move faster than it is. Now, what else is happening here? I have the Seven of Swords. So there is a breaking through some illusion that's coming to love and life in your situation this week. Being able to see through the false signals and signs, and being honest with yourself about where something is going. Now, sometimes the hardest thing you can do is just to chill out around a situation. It doesn't mean you have to leave a situation. It just means maybe you're pursuing something that is meant to just be fun right now. You know, and that's just it. But keep your options open for something more real to come into your life. Don't let a fantasy consume you. Ask questions too. Because right now it is looking as though you're living from a fantasy when it comes to a love situation, and you're wanting something to be more real, but in the current reality, somebody is not showing up solid for you. So you may have to be the one to make the choice of where this is going. Now I see the Justice card there. That's your energy too as well. It's like some settlement, some conclusion, and some truth is coming in for you. You already know it, though. You already know the truth. Now, it sounds like, you know, it sounds like, oh, this isn't a very good reading. And this is a really good reading. It's showing here, Aries, that somebody in love is in love with you. But the only problem is that they're not choosing to make it a reality right now, grounded in and making it serious. So you're being asked to just treat it for what it is. See it for what it is. And you know, either keep your options open as you're moving forward, you know, because you have other options around you, and maybe something will come of it. Because with the Seven of Cups, somebody doesn't want to see you leave, but if you give them what they need, they're not going to make a choice. All right, let's get one more card and then I'll move on. Don't drink the poison. Do not do things you know are bad for you. All right. So the fantasy card can be hard. It's almost like, but it feels so good. And so somebody could be in love trying to keep you on the hook, and know that you're there and know that you're available because they don't want to lose the opportunity with you. But you need fairness and you need to weigh things out carefully with the situation because you are being tested. And, the whole thing with the Seven of Wands and the Seven of Swords, though, is that you're walking into fire with somebody. All right. I don't know. That went that way. So maybe somebody needed to hear that. I don't know how to do, I can't do that. Let's see. I don't know who got timed out. I can't see it and I can't undo it. I apologize to whoever got timed out. It should come back on. All right, Miss Butterfly. Hello. Thank you, Lori. I did that so fast. Love it. All right. Taurus. All right. All right, my bull gang. All right, Taurus. What does Taurus need to hear today? Taurus, Taurus, Taurus. Oh my goodness, you got the Seven of Wands too. I shuffle. I'm not going to reshuffle. That's what you got. So Taurus, again, it's like Aries just had this. The sevens is there's an energy of I want something. I've got to get up. I got to go for it. I'm being tested. You're testing my patience, whatever. But if you really want something, you'll make it happen. Ignore, a little pushback on people that are demanding things from you that you have no time for. You may be dealing with a lot of your own inner stuff and people don't realize how much is going on. You don't need to explain yourself. And, maybe some of you are fighting an internal battle. After a while, it finally gets to you where you're just like, damn, it's like, come on already. When's this going to end? I'm giving it all I got. When is there going to be a conclusion? And sometimes this can show up in a sense where you just keep brushing things off when other people are doing things. They're like I said, they're testing your patience, and it's like finally sometimes you can really stand up for yourself. But the idea is to not let them see you sweat or react or get angry or get frustrated. But you are being asked to create a boundary in some sense. I'm sorry, I love you, but cut the shit. Lay off, get away. I got too much stuff going on. All right. You know what I mean? And then it's like some of you could be really challenged right now too, like when it comes to relationships and work, and it's taken work and it's like, oh man, it's like come on, why is there one challenge after the next? Why does it seem like it's looking good and then all of a sudden I feel like I'm doing more, or I'm feeling like it's getting aggravated, or I'm just and also, if you're the one that's constantly pursuing, this is saying you've been putting enough work in. Sometimes the pursuit is to not pursue. And test your person. And trust and stand in your ground, So when, and if they don't come in, the door gets shut, and don't be afraid to shut the door. Slam the door on some people. And then you slam the door, and then they realize you mean business, but you may have trained them already to think that you're soft. Oh, and I'm sorry, it's like, how many times you gonna let somebody in? And they're like, oh, Taurus will get over it. And this is where it feels like you might need to slam a door on somebody. And when they see how mad or angry you get and how real you are from a place of grace, all right, I'm not asking you to go to jail, because Taurus can get angry. They may actually stand up, and you may get what you want. But you think by being kind or enabling a situation or being patient is taking the high road, but not in this case today. It's not taking the high road. You've got to be firm, and that is the high road. Somebody may be taking advantage of you, and and this isn't about creating a boundary and then saying, oh, I'm sorry. I love when I do that. I didn't mean to be, I'm sorry. I had to tell you that you're pissing me off. Sorry. Right? So what's trying to change in your life is, look, there's some fire being lit up around my Tauruses. You have some goals and dreams in mind. And, this is a lot of Leo energy right now going on, which is being real, coming from a place of your heart and seeing your visions and seeing your future. You're committed. You want them to happen. You want them to go. You want to go after them. And if anybody's stopping you, this is where the tests get really loud. If somebody is really holding you back, you're going to get super angry internally and frustrated because it's not in alignment with you. And it doesn't mean the person's not meant to be in your life, or people aren't meant to be in your life, but you're needing to step up. They need to pull their own weight, or they need to back away. And you need to trust yourself. There could be a fire sign trying to come into your life too. Let's see in love specifically. I have the Devil card in your love position. So it seems like many of you are really in this kind of relationship where the attachment is so strong and so real between the two of you. But what happens is it becomes compulsive and it becomes obsessive. And we get addicted to somebody knowing us on such a deep level, and they can trigger us so much, and it feels like passion. But it's an addiction. And then you get caught up in this energy and it becomes an intense ride. And after a while, it just weighs on both of you. So the Devil card is the Lovers. It's a lover situation. It's like we're in love, but we can be so attached to each other and trigger each other, and we can trigger fears in each other. But you could also be dealing with some pride and ego issues with somebody, Taurus. And it's like, this is where the bull has to show its horns. So you might have to show your horns this week. Enough's enough. Maybe you're calling out a pattern. But I can see that there's an addiction, or there's a relationship that's really got its hold on you and them. It's working both ways. And so if somebody already knows your triggers and knows your patterns, they're not going to trust, or they're not going to take you serious when you're wanting to make change in a relationship. So not only do you have to have the confidence to make the change, to say the thing, to do the thing, but not to apologize for it. Anything else that's coming into your life? I see the Three of Pentacles, right? Somebody's willing to build with you. Somebody's willing to work something out with you. And somebody is very interested in you and sees your qualities. You have a lot in common. And I bet it's this person here with the Devil energy. It's like when it works, but when it doesn't, it feels like, it doesn't work. And sometimes, I'm throwing the counseling card out there. The Three of Pentacles can be, sometimes we gotta either it depends on what kind of relationship you're dealing with. If you're talking about future planning, do we need to call in somebody and figure out how we're going to do this? Or do we need to phone a friend? Or do we just need to try and reorganize and work together here? But it looks as though there could be a collaboration coming in or getting together with somebody to work on things. But it may take outside sourcing. Any advice for you? I see the Knight of Wands. You got a lot of fire energy. All right. And I'm feeling you got to use this. This is you. Pursuit of happiness. Pursuit, ambitious. You want to have fun. You really want to get things going. And if something's holding you back, it looks like you're confronting that this week on some level. And you don't have to confront it, but it's going to boil up and come up as frustration. And most likely you'll take it out on the person that you're in a relationship with. So let's get your oracle card. Somebody you're in a relationship might piss you off and you might go, you know, like I said, mess with the bull, you get the horns. I haven't said that in a couple years. You have an Aries, Leo, Sag, and a Capricorn showing up for you. All right, choices, feeling blocked and restrained is your oracle message. And that's everything I was just talking about. And the 6 is choices, is the Lover's card. So you have the Devil and the Lover's card. You know, that's the shit. You're bound by love and desire with somebody. But logically, you know something has to change. Something is blocking growth in this relationship. And if you're feeling so stuck, eventually you're just going to, you know, bust. All right. And I'm looking at shifts that are happening, and the shift is happening for you is that you're not going to be able to contain or hold yourself back if this is your natural course, if your internal system is pulling you somewhere. You will get there one way or another. Good afternoon. What kind of energy is going on in there? What am I missing? Take care. All right, 20. So I was like, weird. I know. And I wasn't even sure if I was ready to go live, but I was like, I couldn't tell with this energy, you know. We're getting close to the solar eclipse. All right, Gemini, let's just see what message does Spirit have for you right now. Energy is unique today. All right. So, King of Pentacles. You could have a person, earthy energy coming into your life. Look, you get a lot of Taurus energy. Something in Taurus's reading may have been for you. But this is figuring out your values, figuring out what's important to you. You know, that I think that's really a lot of Geminis, even in my life right now, are really, you know, analyzing their life and kind of, you know, wanting some sort of change or feeling the need for some sort of change, wanting to pursue something, wanting something to happen. And yet it's not clear. It's not 100% clear just yet. So how do we stay grounded in this energy and just take one step at a time? What are your goals, right? And are the people in your life right now in alignment with your goals? The Hierophant is here, and that means, you know, what are your top values? What do you need in a relationship? That's a no, a no, like, what is it? A non-negotiable. So analyzing your non-negotiables right now, getting ready to level up here. There, you could be entering a commitment with an earth energy, or something is beginning with somebody who sees a future with you, who really does want to build something, so you could be establishing the foundation here. This is also work related. Some of you could be thinking about going back to school or taking some sort of lessons or courses so that you can upgrade at work. You may be wanting more for your life, right? You may be trying to figure out, how can I be more financially stable in the future? In love, I see the Empress card. Look at this perfect match, right? So there is somebody around you, very loving energy. Somebody really loves to be around you. Somebody enjoys your company. Somebody sees growth. Somebody, feels you and feels the connection. And they may be kind of softer in the background. They might not say anything, but you may notice the way they treat you, or you start to feel them more present with you. Somebody's wanting the real thing with my Geminis. But also, the way I'm reading today is more like, I don't know. It could be just you're looking for something more real in your life, Gemini. So that's why you're going through a lot of shifts right now. And some things are aggravating you. And note the things that are really aggravating you. They're showing up because they want to change. They want to be different. You want something more. You want to grow. And those are your values coming up. That's the way I see it. What's constantly challenging and frustrating you? Sometimes the challenge that's challenging you is challenging you to step up and grow yourself. But oftentimes it's showing you where the conflict is in relationships, where somebody, no matter how much you explain, just does not get it. It does not see the way you see things, or does not value certain things you value, like maybe time, loyalty, connection, faith, sex. It doesn't matter what it is. What are your top fives? And you need somebody to totally be there for you. It looks like you're drawing that in. That marriage and that traditional real feeling that you're looking for. So if people are not in a relationship that is somewhat in alignment or being established, and if you're not feeling like somebody's at least showing up consistent with you, you may be totally confused and frustrated and about to lose your shit. You got the Seven of Cups energy here, and you really got to take a look at what you've been focusing and fantasizing about. For you, I feel like you have such an amazing mind, and you have so many things that you can create, but you can get lost and overwhelmed and in fantasy as well, and not know where to start or how to ground it in and bring it to reality. There's something that you're fantasizing about that you're being asked to make real. Bring it to life. Don't just think about it anymore. And this might not have anything to do with, it could be work, career, something you're doing with your health, your resources. You have a lot of great ideas, and you're being asked, this could even be entrepreneurship for some of you. You are seeing like a new identity in some sense. Being who you want to be with is what I'm seeing. Now you have choices. Make the right choice. If you're up against choices right now, which one feels most in alignment with you? Which one is calling you internally? You are going through an identity shift over the next several years. And it's like, ground and pick the thing that scares you most. Pick the thing that terrifies you most and go for it. Anything else for Gemini? I see the 9 of Cups. Pick the thing that terrifies you the most, and that's going to bring you the most happiness. All right, I am seeing a wish fulfillment, contentment, and happiness, and doing what makes you truly happy. Let's get an oracle for Gemini. A lot of earth energy coming in with the water energy. All right. All must have prizes. All right, so I'm seeing trying to please everyone. That's not where your happiness lies. Trying to keep everybody calm, trying to keep everybody happy, trying to be the one that is just everybody comes to me. This is about your happiness. This reading is about your happiness now. And choosing that one thing that scares you the most. All right. Cancer. I think that's why when you're saying you talk so much, it's to keep everybody at ease. I'm the same way. 3rd house sun, you know, connecting, networking, trying to keep everybody comfortable, trying to keep everybody happy. All right, Cancer. Let's see what messages, whatever comes out. The highest message for Cancer. Oh, you're showing up here. All right, coming back in. It looks like Cancer looking good, ready to take off, ready to hit the gas. And on your way forward. You know, something is picking up pace. If you've been going through a lot of delays, you know, we did have the retrograde in your sign, so I'm sure you were. And now something is actually picking up and moving forward. Things looking better than they did before. So whatever is starting to move in your life or move forward, you know, one, it could be slow down a little bit because it's exciting. It's exciting when things pick up pace. But if you've been waiting for this moment and then all of a sudden it happens, you know, it's like the ride could be over quickly. Right? You want the ride to last. All right. But there is always sometimes fear that says, we got to go with this. We got to go now, or I might lose it again. We got to watch out for those fears that might be coming up. But yet naturally, it looks like it wants to flow pretty fast. Something really wanting to pick you up and go. It's time to move on from something and move forward towards happiness where spirit is calling you. Ace of Cups. So you have this fresh energy here with the Ace of Cups. So something is starting to happen. Your heart is opening up more. Maybe you're feeling in love. You're feeling new. Maybe you're less guarded. You're ready for love. You know, this could be a really good moment. It feels like a really good energy for you. Like you've been waiting for this. It's like that waiting to exhale. You have new love, new opportunity. So let's see what else is coming in, especially in love. I see the Page of Pentacles. And the last card would be life in general. So Page of Pentacles, somebody testing the waters with you, figuring you out, figuring out how you tick, what to do to make you happy, how to compromise. So when you have somebody who's willing with the Page of Pentacles, things will naturally progress on their own because somebody really wants to know you. It could be an earthy energy. But I'm also getting, take your time with this. Let it feel and be real. My Cancers could be falling in love on a new level this week. Somebody could actually make you feel seen. What's going on in life? 6 of Swords. So you are seeing acceleration and movement here, coming out of a difficult situation, and things starting to run smoothly for you. So I think you're getting a break from some situation or difficult situation that you were currently in, or confusion that you found yourself in, or some turbulent waters for a second. But this too shall pass. You're leaving that in the past. There could be some money coming in for you. Also, a message, hey, sign this, you want this, a discount, or if you want to take on this job, we could use your skills, we could use your help. You could be buying tickets to go somewhere. You might go on a little mini vacation with somebody or go meet up with somebody. But somebody wants to see where you take them. And they like your pace, but you're also dealing with an earthy energy here. So it excites them, but at the same time, it might intimidate them a little bit. So just be mindful of that. Any advice for you? 5 of Pentacles. Don't let your fear get in the way. Let someone in. Someone sees you. Someone really wants to get to know you and connect with you. All right. Let me get an oracle. Someone making my Cancers giddy. And they may not be, so the Page of Pentacles too, somebody may be, like I said, testing the waters. And so you're not going to know to the full extent how much they really like you, but they will show you with the things they do. All right. Belong to your own dream. Create your own life. So this really does feel like a dream coming true for my Cancers, and allowing yourself to be the narrator of your show, of your world. And direction and focus is what you're being asked to focus on, things working out positively, not things working out negatively. But also not bypassing shit, right? I gotta be careful when I say that. All right. I'll take a trip. All right. Let's see. More jewels. Thank you. All right. Leo. Oh no, why did I do that? This is a stupid thing they added on here where there's a timing thing. And I always click it. All right, Leo. All right, Leo, happy birthday. Whatever wants to come through for you, what's shifting for you, what's trying to enter in love and life. Hello, Leo, babe. And Max, Leo rising, all right. The star energy is showing up. So something you're quietly hoping for. Maybe you're not telling anybody. Maybe somebody's thinking about you, not telling you just yet. You know, even if things are complicated, you still, you know, it's like one way or another, things are going to turn out okay. Things are going to turn out good. All right. Your heart's in it. You're not losing faith. But also we just don't want to get caught up in just hoping and hoping and hoping and endlessly hoping and not doing anything that we're called to do in our reality. So we do have to desire and have faith and hope, but not sit there and wait and long for something and not move and let it take over our life. But this could be a wish coming true for my Leos right now. So let's see your energy. 7 of Swords. You've been hiding something. My Leo's hiding something. Maybe how you truly feel about a situation. Maybe you're faking hope. You know, you're trying to be hopeful. You're trying to stay positive. But there is this energy underneath that, you know, maybe people don't see that you are concerned about something. You know, and I just feel like it's okay to worry. I know I'm always like trying to be like, we need to release worry and trust and have faith and, you know, not let fear take over. But worry is still a natural emotion that we have. We just don't want it to consume us and make our choices for us. And so it does seem like maybe something that you're really hiding, that you're really worried about, that you just don't want people, you don't like to look vulnerable. The Star card is letting you know that that is going to turn out in your favor. It's going to be a blessing coming from this. Now, when it comes to love, I see the 6 of Wands. Right now, you should be hot. You should be a hot commodity. You know, it's like getting attention, turning heads, feeling on top of the world, feeling pretty confident in yourself. And, you know, somebody here really likes the way things are with you too with this card. So somebody really, you could have an admirer, or you could have a situation where somebody is happy where things are at, but maybe you're not happy where things are at. Why did it go out? Why did this sign go out? It's not retrograde. Maybe you're doubting your confidence in a situation, Leo, but somebody really sees you. And, you know, this could be, I want to even announce to somebody or to everybody that we're together. But you're getting more attention than maybe you realize. You might be reading the wrong numbers. You might be paying attention to the wrong facts or the wrong details. You're lacking trust in a situation. In life, I see the 3 of Cups, very social energy around you. Maybe this is a time where you're supposed to focus on being social and connecting with people that really make you feel loved and feel seen. Getting together and accepting those invitations. people are drawn to you, and this energy around you, people love being around you and have a good time with you. But again, I keep picking up on this energy. Maybe somebody is feeling, maybe it's me, I don't know, I don't think it is, but it's like you're really doing a good job trying to hide your pain or your worry, playing off like everything is cool and kosher when it's not. But something that you're worried about, maybe you're being asked to let it go for a second, just this week. And you're seeing approval and acceptance and validation from all the people around you. And getting together with somebody or being around people that make you feel supported, so that whatever this is, get your mind off that. Let's see what else is going on. I got distracted for a second because your title keeps going on. I have the Two of Pentacles, right? You have a lot going on and it can seem overwhelming at times. Some of you might be juggling too much. You might be trying to do too many things to keep yourself busy. It could be work related. Maybe just choose one and focus on it, because it looks like you are headed for success, but you are being asked to choose one path and go with it. Not dabble in everything and see which one takes you somewhere. And this could be job related and getting attention, right? Focusing on the people that really see you and really care about you, and building your foundation from that. Now, if some of you are juggling a love situation, there could be a third party situation. For some of you, this is also you making a decision of whether or not you need to, you're better than that, is what I just got. Like, you don't want to wait around and wait to be chosen. You are chosen. All right, let me get... All right, let me get an oracle for Leo. And happy birthday. Celebrate your birthday. Good times. That is your birthday here. Are you going to celebrate your birthday with people who really love you, or worry about that pain in the ass that's causing you grief? Belong to your own dream and make it happen. Create your own life. Don't follow anybody or make yourself small or not seen for somebody else. That's what I got for you, Leo. You are welcome. I only say the third party. Let's clarify that, though, because people get nervous with that. I only say the third party because I know, doing YouTube, and I know a lot of your situations, and I know that a lot of you are dealing with that. But that's not it's not like I'm channeling that and saying, oh, I hear there's a third party. I know there's a third party. I wouldn't do that unless I was doing a personal reading, or if it was screaming at me. Right? But when I say it like that, it's more of just a message for those who are dealing with that and know they are, or needed to hear that. But if you don't, and don't go looking for it, right? No, I didn't think you took it that way. I just felt called to say it, because I do every now and then say it, and I know it can trigger people, and then they think that their person is in a third party or I think it was Lori. I actually saw Lori say something. But yeah. Let's see. Virgo. I wasn't ready to be a mom. Guys, I started my fast today and I'm already starving. All right, let's see. Virgo, what does Virgo need to hear today? Whatever comes out. What's shifting? 3 of Wands, bottom of the deck. So are you waiting for something to arrive? Are you sitting there staring out your window? Right? Something's coming. Things are looking good. If you've been showing up every day, putting the pieces together, working, doing your thing. I mean, nothing's guaranteed, but this is you put the work in. You've been making the choices. You've been doing the thing. You know, you've been being real with yourself and ready to go. Sometimes it is just a bitch and it is about waiting. What's happening next? Or sometimes we're anticipating the next move of somebody, or, you know, we have to, because Virgos want to know the plan, Stan. I want to know what's going on. But the plan may be still building. There may still be some changes and tweaks that need to happen. Still some things that need to come together before we get to that next station. And maybe by the time you get to the next station, you decide you didn't even want to go that route. So we kind of sit in the 3 of Wands energy for a minute and we enjoy what we've already built. We enjoy the wins that we just recently had. Right? Or we just decide to just kind of maybe take a step away from a second from our plans and let them be and do something different. Focus on something different while we're waiting for our next goal to arrive. You have the 7 of Swords too. It's like you're worried. And it's a timing thing. It's like, how come, you know, you need something to happen, or you need to know something because you don't want to be sideswiped. And some of you may not, you know what the thing is though, is if something is kind of at a standstill in a sense, or, you know, it feels like it's moving, maybe you're doubting yourself whether or not you really trust something or really want something. In love, I see the King of Swords. So I am seeing you're dealing with somebody who can be hard to deal with at times because you have to kind of decode this person. You know, you don't know if you can trust them because they, you know, but a King of Swords, they're pretty blunt when it comes to how they feel in their truth. If they're lying, you're gonna know they're a total bullshitter. I mean, they're all or nothing. You know, you have in love somebody that needs to think a lot before they expose their feelings, and you're not maybe trusting whether or not that they're going to follow through for you in the future. Or you're wondering if they're going to call or come back in, or what's next, or is this going to last, or you're questioning everything here. So if some of you are seeing red flags that you can't avoid, then, you know, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, if the red flags are there, I can't battle those. I mean, but if they're not there and they're just you intimidated or a little fearful because you don't want to get burned again. Sometimes it is about not focusing on the problem so much because you can make a problem. And it's about just letting them, people will show you their true colors. You know that. So maybe detach a little bit and let them show up. Let them show you, you don't need to figure it out. They'll expose themselves. In life, I see the King of Cups. So you have a couple people showing up for you too, that are in your orbit right now. So in life in general, there could be a business when it comes to health, healing, counseling, things like that, or leveling up when it comes to your career in life and becoming very successful. A lot of people, the King of Cups is one of the very successful business person. You keep showing up and doing your thing. And if it's coming from a deep feeling, your heart is in it. You have a lot of success coming your way. Something bringing happiness. There could be a partner too. You might be partnering up with somebody. It could be a part of your relationship too. You and a person end up teaming up because you can kind of see that there is a partnership here that's happening. But even with love too, you can see that you have a very watery, very empathic energy, and it's hard for you to trust somebody who's not always honest or straightforward with you, or isn't ready to be 100% clear with you. You may read into things. Now there's the Hermit card. You are being asked to kind of do something different, go on and take a different road, try something new. This week, if you find yourself questioning everything and really feeling like you need to make a decision or figure something out, you are being asked to kind of do a retreat, go somewhere on your own, figure things out before you make any assumptions, because you got kings here. And unless, like I said, the red flags are like in your face, it looks like something is working out for you, but the timing is off a little bit and you're more fearful than maybe you need to be. All right. Look at this nonsense. It's time to talk sense. I see this, the Seven of Swords and the nonsense card. It's like denial, not trusting yourself, not trusting the signs, not trusting anyone, or listening to what other people are saying, or stories that other people have told you. And so your inner critic could be loud this week or right now, because we're looking at right now. Your inner critic could be on fire. And every time something lights you up, you think the worst case scenario. And you're harder on yourself than anybody. Find something else to do. Don't talk to yourself right now. What was it, Alan Watts? I used to say this all the time. You're not your best friend. You think you are. You talk to yourself all the time, and you're your worst friend ever. So you're the only thing that's coming in here up in your head, feeling a little scattered, maybe worried, but I am seeing here that everything else seems to be looking good for you. All right. Libra. I love him too. He was somebody I listened to so much during the beginning of my journey. All right, Libra. Whatever Libra needs to know right now. Page of Pentacles. All right. All you got to do is show up. Even if you don't know what you're doing. This is how you gain experience. You know, I had this conversation yesterday with somebody. I was like, why are we still caring what other people think? You know, why are you hesitant? Or why do we have to be perfect when we start a job? Who gives a shit? You know, why do we think that it's always about what other people think of us? Even if you normally don't even care what other people think of you, there's always that sense that when I show up somewhere, my pride, my ego, I've got to perform. I have to be at the top of my game. I have to be perfect. Everything has to be perfect. No, it doesn't. Not with the Page of Pentacles. And actually, a lot of people get turned off by that when you walk into a job and you know, you need to know everything, or you already have everything figured out. And they don't want that. They want somebody who's inexperienced so that they can, it's easier to deal with somebody who's inexperienced. Can mold them. So if this is about a job for some of you, you know, you don't have to be perfect to get to that first step. If this is about starting something new, you know, community, going somewhere, signing up for something, school, work, working out, new friendships, new relationship. We don't have to be perfect. And sometimes relationships remain friends for years before they even develop into something more. But I see a lot of people connecting with people and really wanting the whole story planned out. And you plan the story out in your head before you even get through the front door. And you don't even know if you like them. What if they don't even shower once a week? You don't find out until months later that they have some weird fetish that you didn't know about. But the second date, you want to plan where you're going to have your gravestones. You know, it's like, why are you trying to be perfect for somebody that you don't even know yet? And the page is just saying, you got to test things. You got to just be, you know, just get out there and slowly work your way into getting to know things and know people. And you know something I have learned, this isn't always good. I can see in my life where people have been like, quit acting like you don't know. But I've always showed up as the student, and I've always asked questions, and I always act like I'm inexperienced in a lot of ways. Some of that's because, you know, confidence maybe, or people thinking you're arrogant or whatever. But honestly, a lot of it is because I want to see people's new perspectives. You know, so you go for it. That's all I got right there. Let's see your energy. The 10 of, you're making things too difficult. You're worrying about things that are weighing you down, and that is not even letting things happen. You know, it just feels like the 10 of Wands, something you're carrying right now. It's like, let it go. You're creating stress. What I'm picking up, this might not be you. You could, if it doesn't resonate, don't take it. But you're carrying stress that you're creating in your imagination. It hasn't even happened in reality yet. And you're already stressing about it so much. And 80-90% of our stresses and worries don't even come true. So this is where it's like the 10 of Wands is, it could be a habit, addiction. It's what's protected you most of your life. But now we're going through a shift, a change of life, and it's learning to let go of some of these things. Because especially air signs. I feel like air signs can really create a story and live in it in their heads. And it feels real, and it hasn't even happened yet. In love, I'm seeing the 7 of Cups, and there it is. There's this daydreaming and fantasizing and creating and being in love with all of the ways love can show up. Imagining a love story that hasn't even happened, and yet there could be love in front of your face, and you know, you're not letting it happen. You're living, you feel safer in your imagination and the way things could be, and dreaming that when reality hits, it doesn't match your expectations because you've already been living the relationship, but nobody else has been in it but you and your imaginary partner, who may be real, but they don't know what they're doing in your head. And so it's like, you got to start somewhere. You've got options around you, and maybe your fear of commitment, maybe that's what's happening for some of you. Your fear of commitment. It's safer to fantasize than it is to let reality in. And the 7 of Cups in love too. You could be creating a story about somebody and living in this fantasy about somebody who's a complete loser. I'm sorry. No, Angel, if you take that, I'm gonna smack you. All right. I'm thinking that some people are falling in love with people that they haven't even met yet or haven't even connected with. And this person could be at home smoking crack. Or they're super, you know, you just don't even know, but you are fantasizing about somebody. You gotta test things out properly. All right. Well, maybe you've already thought about all that. Maybe that's why you haven't made the move, because Libras think about everything. All right. Now in life, I'm seeing 5 of Wands. 5 of Wands, you're being asked to tackle it. Go for it. The 5 of Wands, it's like you gotta compete. I do. You got to compete, Libra. So you are being asked to kind of push forward and push ahead. Okay. The 5 of Wands for you here when it comes to life is saying, you know, you may have some competition, but you've got it in you to push through. And you have it in you to really make it happen. All right. So go for it. Use your potential. You know, sometimes things are challenging with the 5 of Wands, but you are being tested. It's uncomfortable, but you got to push through, because whatever challenges you're up against right now, you're in it to win it. You're being pushed. You got to push yourself. All right. Anything else for Libra? I see the 8 of Pentacles, trying to stay comfort and safe in your own little world of protection. And some of you are very skilled and you need to fight. You might have reached the top of something in your life, and it's time to challenge yourself with something new. I do see money or a new job coming your way. All right. Most people do like their bubble. I'm one of them. I'm in my bubble right now. I like my bubble. I'm thinking about right now breaking the bubble a little bit and myself, and doing something totally different, because I need to feel like life is changing. All right. So let's see your oracle. Like, I have so many ideas. That's where some of these messages come from too. I have so many ideas too. And it's like, I got to push through. You got to fight for that position. It does look like you're qualified, for some of you that needed to hear that. You can't go back to yesterday, so be in the present. You know, the way things were, it's a beautiful memory. We need to create something new, you know, and believe. I'm also seeing believe in strange encounters. So you might have some weird moment this week or right now that you're like, what the hell was that? But it could be an opening trying to show up for you. All right. So believe in the impossible, but also somebody may throw you off this week. There could be somebody that you least expect showing up in your life. I think, honestly, this is a collective reading. I don't think it's just Libras that needed to hear that. I think it's for everybody. I think all these messages today are pretty much just collective and for everybody. Because there are some Libras that they probably have their, like, they're like, that ain't shit. I don't know what you're talking about. 11111 for Scorpio. Haven't seen that in a while for a Scorpio number. Hello, Queen Tiki. And QZ. All right, Scorpio, you had a really good number to start with, 11111, and we're keeping it. Let's see, what does Scorpio need to hear today right now? I don't know. I've been in a mood. I don't know about you guys. You're welcome. Well, look at that Knight of Swords, right? Scorpio's the first one to get it today, so you know, we got to make some choices and what direction you want to go in. Where do you want to go? You know, it's like this is very quick energy, very fast and determined energy. You may not want to choose things too quickly because something could show up totally different than you expected. All right. Or maybe you're focused on a new direction and, you know, you're not quite sure. I would ask yourself if you're making a choice based off of fear. That's always the first thing that in therapy or even ChatGPT always asks me, are you doing this because you really feel called, or are you doing this because you're sensing fear about the situation? So you don't want to make a decision too quick, but at the same time, there might be things right now that really you do. Things are getting intense, so you feel like you need to make a decision about something. What's in alignment with you? What's in alignment with your future? The Strength card. So this is your energy. I really do feel like self-control. Don't make any decisions based off of your intense emotions. Maybe you're feeling intense right now. Maybe you are feeling very deep right now. And sometimes for Scorpio, that can feel like, oh, that's deep knowing. But sometimes it really is just our deep fears that we repress, that we don't want to take a look at. We shut the bunker. Keep that shit buried. You know, so a lot of strength here, you know, having a lot of strength in self-control and reserve when it comes to assuming things right now and making judgment calls or making quick decisions, and also slow down. You know, I'm a Scorpio, so I'm speaking from my own experience with you, but this energy with the Gemini energy, like I seriously, you know, it seems like I'm causing the traffic issues, not other people, even though I haven't changed my driving and I'm a pretty safe driver. But it feels like people don't know which way they're going. And if I can't even get comfortable. I'm like, when I'm driving, because there's been a couple times where people switch their decisions and I'm not sharp about it, and I almost could have caused an accident. So it is kind of control your emotions right now and your decisions in just everyday life, because other people could be feeling this energy too that way, and it could cause, you know, some shit. Look at this, like in love, you know, you get the Chariot card for you though, so love looks good for you. Somebody knows what they want with you, and they're not stopping. Like, they're very focused on you, and somebody could be returning, you know, for some of you that feel it. And this could be where you need to have some boundaries and not make assumptions about somebody. You know, you don't have to chase. Don't be chasing anybody Don't be chasing anybody right now. There's times in our life where I think chasing can be fun. It does show, so other people like it too. You know, you like it when somebody pursues you and chases you. So there is times when we know when to go and when not to. And this is a time when let somebody chase you, let somebody come to you. It looks like somebody here is really figured out. They're not questioning it anymore. And so things may become more intense when it comes to your relationships. In life, I see the Hanged Man. You could be going through a transition period. You could be feeling bored. Make sure it's only before you make any decisions. Sometimes this stuck energy, this pause is just sit still. Life's boring and dull right now. There's other things going on behind the scenes. You know, wait for something to call you. Don't go looking for some trouble because you just feel stuck. You know, you're changing, and you're not the same person you used to be. You're not even the same person you were yesterday. So oftentimes when we're stuck or bored, we decide to make decisions that used to be something we would do, or we go back to something that we're familiar with because it's safe. And you're not, with the Hanged Man, you're being asked to wait for the new versions to come in. See what God has for you. See what the universe has for you. Sit through this moment right now before you make any decisions that you commit to that you might regret. And this could be career life. This could be like, I'm thinking about getting a license, another license. I have so many. It's like, come on, what else do I? But I always have things to fall back on. But it's something I used to do, and it's something I don't know if I even want to do it anymore. So that's where that's coming from. But so you are kind of being asked to kind of chill for a second and give yourself a little bit of a pause before you make any decision. Let the new in. What else? I see the Devil card. So you are seeing fear-based thinking, negative thinking kind of in the background here. And there's obsessive compulsive behavior, intensity behavior, and acting out of fear. So that's your message, Scorpio. Just be mindful the devil is showing up. So addictions, heaviness, coping mechanisms, numbing yourself, doing things that you know are not good for you, talking to that person that you know you shouldn't talk to, or making quick irrational decisions because your desires are on fire. Scorpio is the I want sign, I desire sign. And I'm surprised Capricorn has this card, not you. You got we got the freaking death card, right? But your temptations may get the best of you. Your boredom may get the best of you, which means you could aggravate the piss out of somebody, especially if you're on edge with somebody in your life, or you're trying to connect with somebody. You see they're pursuing you, let them pursue you. But you could prematurely cause a tower. All right, let me see. Do you notice that you have all major arcana right there? So that just tells me that right now, the shifts are out of your control right now, you know? Let God do its thing. There's nothing really for you to do when major arcana comes in. It's like, so I see such a curious dream. Ground in yourself, return into reality and coming home to yourself, especially if you feel yourself kind of losing your mind a little bit. Wake up, it's your moment. So your advice is really to ground yourself and to really root yourself with this strength card and self-control, and not letting your fears and your desires and temptations get the best of you. You got this, Scorpio, whatever you're dealing with. All right, Sagittarius. All right, Sagittarius. What does Sagittarius need to hear today? Two right now. All right, 3 of Cups. Time to celebrate, hang out, keep things light, and have some good times. Party time. You know, and I have a King of Swords underneath that too. So this could be detaching from life a little bit right now and not worrying about our problems. Finding time to see the joy with our friends, with the things we do, and not giving a shit about somebody who maybe is being aloof, detached, not returning calls. You know, don't let them ruin your sunny day. The 3 of Cups is showing that things will come out. Things will come together. The truth will come out. You know, there could be something else going on, and when we're not paying attention to our problems, they work themselves out most of the time. I mean, obviously there's some that, you know, we'll come up with the answers. We'll figure out how to resolve things when we give it some breathing room. Your energy, the Chariot card. So you've got a very fast energy going on. You're very focused. You know what you want. And there's a lot of intensity in your energy. But with this being your energy, you could really miss the mark too. You could be moving so fast that you might drive right past the solution. You might drive right past the point. You might drive right past a person. So the 3 of Cups is saying, slow down. Why are you moving so fast? Enjoy the moments that are here. Stay in the present moment. You know, it's not about getting to the next place. It's not about getting to the next milestone. It's not about doing the next thing. That is fun, and I get it. I'm an Enneagram 7, but at the same time, we do miss some of the joys. And that kind of is a Sag energy. You know, it's like you want to just get to the mark, but it's the journey along the way that you're being asked to slow down and enjoy. You're still on the right path, and you obviously are headed somewhere that you're very focused on, so nobody's going to stop you. But you could run over people or run over situations, and you could avoid certain obstacles if we slow down a little bit. In love, I'm seeing the King of Wands, right? So a lot of passion. You love intensity and passion, and it looks like another fire sign. It could be showing up in love. But also you're giving off a great vibe. You're giving off this like, I know exactly what I want and I'm going to get it. So if you know exactly what you want and you're going to get it, then why worry about it? I mean, you're glued to your manifestation. And you're very passionate about the things that you want. And it looks like you're very committed to your long-term goals. But I see a very strong, intense energy with you. And that intensity can become electrifying. It can become addicting. And then when it dies out, you know, it's like you can't ride that high for so long. It'll be like a roller coaster. But it's almost like too, if you get somewhere too quickly, you're just going to look for the next thing to go to. And then you're going to run out of goals to get to. In life, I see the King. You got such a fast, passionate. I mean, in life right now, I'm going to say, don't second guess yourself with the direction that you're on. You're very passionate. You're very intense. You have a lot of air and fire here. But I am just getting, stay focused and maybe just enjoy some of the stops along the way. You may miss an opportunity. And once you get there too, you know, it's going to be the same thing. What's next? And the goalpost always moves. And you have the Six of Wands. So I'm seeing a major, pay attention to the small wins right now, but it looks like I'm picking up on a Sagittarius that needs to know that you're headed towards ultimate success. Stay on purpose. Don't let other people distract you. And don't let nonsense distract you either. You're being admired. You got a lot of followers, a lot of attention. You're seen. But the Six of Wands to me is celebrating the wins every day on the way up. Because that's where the joy is, you know? And you could be celebrating some big win this week, and there could be a date with a fire sign too as well. Let's see. You can't go back to yesterday. Be in the present. And that's, for you, what I see is that you may miss something, or you might get to where you're trying to go and then look back and say, oh, I didn't know that was going on. I was up there, I was traveling there, but I just wanted to get home and I didn't know there was this huge concert going on there. You know, I was right in that neighborhood. You know, you're moving so fast that, you know, you just might miss opportunities that are around you. But also too, if you're living in the past, you got to focus forward. Do you see all this energy of focus forward? It's time for Sagittarius to move forward, move on, move, you know, find what you're passionate about. All right, Capricorn. All right, Cappies. Let's see. What does Capricorn need to hear right now? Two of Cups. Two of Hearts. Whatever you're feeling, I'm sure they're feeling it back, especially at this stage. You know, and it's being vulnerable and it's being honest and open and speaking your feelings unapologetically. You know, somebody is getting to know you or starting to understand you or just wants to get close to you. Or they're trying to get close to you. You know, they see you and your relationships, even in general with this card, it just feels like you're reaching some point where there's more meaning and it feels like something has changed or something is deepening. Well, here you are, the 10 of Wands. Maybe you're afraid to let go and trust it. You're so used to not having somebody that really sees you or feels you. It might feel good. It feels good, but there's still a part of you that is like, I got up to this top of the mountain on my own, and I am not letting go that easily. You know, but if this person really loves you or really cares about you like I'm feeling like they're starting to, it's going to be hard for you to hold on. They might steal you. They might, you know, creep up on you, and at some point you may have to let go and see what happens. Go all in. Let somebody in. If you're somebody that is just always trying to do everything on your own and not let anybody in, the Two of Cups is also asking you to open up and let somebody in. In love, I have the Queen of Swords. So you are like clear-eyed. Look at your eyes. You see everything. You can't get shit past me. You have a strong boundaries, and you are definitely not going to get fucked over. Whoever this is, whichever Capricorn this is, you are like, I am scanning every breath you take. Look how hard it is for you. So maybe you are catching feelings for somebody. Somebody is feeling it, but somebody might love this about you, though, and is waiting for you to soften up a little bit. You know, your discernment here is on fire. It may be really hard for you to let down your guards a little bit. It's really hard for you, but it feels kind of a nice energy, though. This is different. This feels like somebody is cracking your walls, and maybe it's freaking you out a little bit, but you are definitely, or you know what, also, maybe some of you, I'm getting you to be aware of this, but you might not realize how serious you look to your person or how serious you're coming across, because you are like, you're bug-eyed and paying attention to everything and analyzing everything. You might be so hypervigilant, so on guard, and so stressed out because you're falling for somebody, that somebody might be able to obviously read you. They know you're falling for them. But maybe you don't realize how you're coming across. In life, I see the Six of Cups. You know, so two things, right? We can't live in the past all the time. Can't keep going back to the past. We got to create something new now and turn things around and move towards the future. It looks like you have good friends, good times. Somebody could reach out to you, a lifelong friend, somebody that you've known for quite some time, you haven't talked to in a while. Maybe some of you are feeling like you want to reconnect with somebody from your past. Not romantically, but you're looking to reconnect with somebody from the past. It could help you in life right now. There could be somebody that might be able to add something to your life. It could be a blessing, a gift. Anything else for you? Knight of Pentacles. You just slow, steady, and reliable, cautious energy. You know, the person that is moving really slow in your life, and it's not that exciting, is probably going to be the happiest you'll ever be and the most stable you'll ever feel if you let them in. I think some of you might be questioning a relationship because of the pace, or because maybe it's not as passionate, or things are just kind of settling in and it could feel even boring at times. But that relationship is going to be the one that would do anything for you and stay consistently with you. It could be an earthy sign or an air sign. Show up and just continue to work, because there's a payout coming in. You're so close to the top of that mountain. And I can see here for some of you that you have been working really hard to get somewhere, and it shows. And you know, this could even be a promotion of some sort. Or some of you just thinking like, is there anything more? But you're so close to maybe even a new position or a new outlook on a career or a different career. Or your career is going to lead you to something you didn't expect. And you got the bull in there, so maybe grab the bull by its horns and go. Quit procrastinating if that's your case for some of you. All right, create your own happiness regardless of conditions is your oracle today. So learning to be content, and I want to be careful with that because it's not spiritually bypassing. It's literally being content no matter whether you have good things going on or life's throwing a bunch of curveballs at you. No matter how you look at it, even with manifesting, if we can learn to be content and glad, and that's how we create our own happiness. Happiness isn't something, everybody's always seeking the pursuit of happiness, right? But it's a mindset. It's a feeling. And certain things that bring us excitement and joy, those are intense feelings that happen in moments, but they don't always last. So contentment, I would say, is what we're more seeking, and that will lead to more happiness. All right, Aquarius. I love these cards too. Oh, wow. Aquarius, you got the 7 of Cups too. A lot of signs get in this today. Where's your head at? You know, are you following a story in your head that really hasn't happened? You know, are you getting caught up in a daydream that could be, but there's no signs in reality that it's happening yet? Yeah, a lot of us are trained to do that because of manifesting and because of the spiritual community too, but this is where you got to take a step back and check reality and make sure that, you know, you're seeing some sort of movement or something really happening that's not subtle. What happens with this energy is that you can grieve a breakup and a loss even if something never even really happened in life yet. You're living it, you're creating it in your imaginary world, and it feels real. And then in the 3D reality, your character performs as if that story has really happened. And then other people around you don't know where certain things are coming from. You know, the narrative, or you get confused with what's real and what's not real in a situation. And also you can get lost in creating possibilities with somebody, and that person really is not ideal. You might be fantasizing that somebody is this great version. I want to be together with this person. I can see this, this, and that. But in reality, do you really in this moment like how that person is showing up? Or are you creating a version of them that you wish you had? And this can happen not just with love, this can happen with your life in general too. And you create a life in your head, but then you look at where you're at now, and then you shame yourself because you feel like you're not good enough to play that part that you have in your head. So that card there, that's Neptune. I feel like there's a Neptune placement going on right now. Let me see. Square. Nope, that's not the right day. Let's see. So Venus is opposing Neptune yesterday. Today, Mercury is trine in Neptune. So that can really be very creative, imaginative energy, right? Maybe I'm a week ahead here. I'm all over the place. Wednesday. But Neptune is in Aries, though. I don't know. I just feel like 7 of Cups is showing that energy. So let's see you. I see the Knight of Swords. You know, focused, very passionate, but needing to pick a direction. You know, making a quick assumptions and fast and intense energy. Let's see what's going on in love. The Magician. You're ready to go. You're ready to act. You're ready to make something happen. But maybe you're questioning which direction to go in. You have great energy showing up despite what I just said, this 7 of Cups. Use your imagination wisely. Because with the right focus and a purpose and intention behind what you really want, you could make that shit happen right now. But it depends on where you're focusing your time and your energy. If you're single, you have so much potential around you to attract the right partner, and somebody's very attracted to you. You're on somebody's mind. They could be trying to figure out, you know, what the purpose of this relationship is. They could be questioning everything. You know, but in life in general, I'm seeing 8 of Swords. You restrict yourself and doubt yourself, and it's just in your head. Overthinking. It's like you know what you want, but you're afraid to do it. You know what you're thinking, what you're saying is not true, but you may think it anyways. And I see the Justice card for you. You got to weigh your decisions out right now. Are you making decisions based off of a reality that doesn't exist? You know, go back to what I was saying here with the 7 of Cups. Are you making an assumption or a decision about somebody that you've created in your head, or is it something that actually happened in reality? Because you can take a person and you can make that person be anybody you want, any narrative you want. You can make it fit. And you can say, see, look, they did that, and take something out of context and make it look like they did. And somebody else might look at it and be like, what are you talking about? So facts are going to be very important in weighing out your decisions this week, or right now, when it comes to what's really true and what's not true. Because you have the 8 of Swords here, which is saying that you're letting a lot of limiting beliefs and fear and insecurities narrate your decisions, narrate your dreams. That's where you're focused. And maybe you're just talking shit to yourself about, you know, I know what I want to do, but I can't do it. Making excuses. I don't think I'm good enough to do it. Well, the Justice card is here is saying, you know, you got to weigh your decisions out, because karma is karma. And if you don't do something, or if you do something out of fear, the actions and consequences. But you have an amazing, absolutely amazing, if you decide to get really focused right now and wipe that shit away, get clean with the past, be clear with the past, be gone, closure, find peace with the past, and decide to make some shit happen with this energy. Get focused on what's really reality, what's really important to you. All right, let me get an oracle. All right. Do not drink the poison. Do not do things you know are bad for you. And it feels like this, you know, like maybe some of you feeling angry, betrayed, need justification. You could be focusing on assumptions that might not be true. And then also you could be numbing yourself because it's hard for you to face the truth about something, right? Or your anxieties getting the best of you. But whatever the thing is, your oracle is saying, do not do the things you know are bad for you. And that could be letting somebody control your narrative with getting you to react. All right. 51. There's a way to live in both realities. And when I was big into talking about manifestation to everybody, you've got to live in two parallel worlds if you're going to do that. You can create so much in the 5D, and you can feel it in the 5D, but you've got to already believe it and surrender to it and let it take form in the 3D. But you have to be so grounded and be able to walk in the current 3D while you're waiting for the 5D to merge with the 3D, the new timeline, right? But a lot of people, that's where it gets really difficult. All right, I'm going to put it on 152. Sorry. All right, Pisces. What does Pisces need to hear today? Queen of Pentacles. All right. Taking care of business. The Strength card. Keep hanging on. Keep holding on. You got this. Stay grounded. There could be a person entering your life that's bringing assistance financially or just friendship and warmth and wanting to help you out, wanting to help you build stability. And this is also could be your energy. You know, you're just becoming more independent. Things looking good. You've got this. You don't need anyone at this point. You know, it does feel like I can do this on my own. Right, the Judgment card. So maybe this is what's happening. You're starting to review everything that's been going on in your life. And something's making you look at your life honestly. Maybe you're feeling a calling, a new calling. You know, sometimes you feel something just before it happens. There could be a return, forgiveness, something happening, a second chance getting ready to happen, and you feel the call before it comes. You know something's going to change, or you know you're destined for something. So you may be just finding yourself kind of hanging there, holding on. The Strength card is also, hold on a second, because if you are feeling a calling for something, let's see if something shows up for you, you know. Maybe you don't need to do anything yet. Just kind of watch the energy and see who shows up. But you also may be really reviewing your life and looking at the choices that you've made, and you might be wanting to step in a new direction yourself. In love, I'm seeing the Emperor card. So you have somebody that's committed to you or is thinking about commitment with you. There's love there. There's a feeling of home and stability, but they won't make them, it's a timing thing for them. They won't make a move until they're absolutely ready. Anything that threatens their ego or their stability, or, you know, they like to have control over the situation. So maybe they want to pursue you when the timing's right. In life, I see the Ace of Cups. So it looks like right now the biggest focus for you is love. There could be a new child or a new home coming in. But you're getting a fresh energy with life as well. Love is starting. Maybe you're feeling it. Maybe you're feeling like you're falling in love just before you do fall in love. That I forget where I heard that a long time ago. I don't know if it was a secret that was talking about that. Sometimes you're feeling in love or you're happy and you don't know why just before something truly big happens. And it looks like something big is happening for my Pisces. And I see the 9 of Cups. So you got a blessing on the way. So it looks like something, a relationship that you've been desiring. It looks like my Pisces right now, you're about to be pretty happy. If you're feeling something coming in, it looks like it's on its way fairly soon. Ace of Cups can even be up to a month, but I'm looking at right now is energy. Happiness and contentment. Let's see your oracle. All must have prizes. Everybody needs a bit of everything. Everybody wants some. So just know that your happiness is here and coming in, and you can't please everyone. And there may be people around you that might be a little envious or jealous of your happiness as this is starting to happen. And, you know, this is where you can't make everybody happy. You got to focus on your happiness. And there will be people that don't want to see you happy. It's a phenomenon. I don't understand us human beings. It's easier to care about somebody and be like, oh, I feel so bad for you. Or, you know, oh, I'm sorry you're down in your luck. Or, you know, but when somebody's successful or happy, you don't hear anything. Or, you know, it's like somebody's super happy and it's like, oh, I'm sending you more blessings, you know. Oh, you don't need any. You're fine. All right, guys, I love you. Hopefully you enjoyed my messages today. Make sure to comment. Let me know. And today is Wednesday. I will see some of you tomorrow in membership, and I'll see the rest of you on Friday. Where have we heard that before? What do you mean? Which part? I can't always remember where I hear it. I've read so much. I've heard so much. I've watched so many things. Sometimes I can recall who said it. All right, guys. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, Allie. Thank you, Angel. Thank you, FG, Queen Tiki. You guys still hanging out? Lisa here, Allie. All right, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.